Looking at this blue telescope down a moonstruck road tonight. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you, Robert Rossi. I didn't mean to cause you any sorrow. Didn't mean to cause you any pain. Only want one time to see you laughing. Thank you, Robert Rossi. Only want to see you laughing in that purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Only wanna see you laughing in that purple rain. Oh! That's actually, in that purple rain thing, there's, remember the opening of Twin Peaks? Huh. That's the Twin Peaks opening. Welcome everybody, my name is Kyle Shannon, this is the AI Learning Lab. The lead singer there is Champ. He likes to open up the shows here. Done me, and you bet I felt it. Tried to be chill, she's out that I'm melted. Fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back. Before the cool done run out, I'll be giving it my business. Nothing gonna stop me on the violent invention. Reckon it's again my turn to win some or learn some, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Enough mediocre singing. I know I probably shouldn't call Champ mediocre, right? I think if I put Champ down, people are going to come after me. We love Champ. Why would you put him down? He's a lovely singer. He's clearly got classical training. I'll tell you one thing I do know. Champ, he sings from the diaphragm like a good singer should. Deep. All right. So, welcome to the AI Learning Lab. If you have questions about AI, pop them in the comments below. Okay. I said it in January. I said it a lot in January. Shit's going to get weird in 2024. And then January was not weird. It was just like, yeah, it's like ChatGPT still kind of sucks and Google hasn't launched their shit. And then February came and it was still kind of nothing. And like Google launched their Gemini Ultra and it was like a piece of shit. It was like, yeah, whatever, it's all right. It's okay. Not great. Not what they said. And then in the past week, holy shit! You want to see something fucked up? Well, it's not fucked up to you because you're normal people. But when you got the neurodivergence, when you're neurospicy like my own self. Before I went live tonight, I wrote down that many things. This many things happened this week that I think are kind of batshit crazy and big. Some are bigger than others. And they're not really in order. But I figure we'll look at some of this shit tonight. So we had Sora, right? The OpenAI video model, like, oh shit. I guess these things are doing video now, like making like really good, nearly can't tell it from reality video. I guess we're there. Now it's not launched yet, so we're not there. But we're there. 11 Labs then said, oh, we've got a... oh, there's another one. Here, wait. Let me put another one here. Then 11 Labs did the text to sound effects thing where they put the audio behind the OpenAI's Sora video, which was really interesting. Then today... 11 Labs has been accepted into Disney's accelerator, which is really interesting because if they're doing voice synthesis, what does Disney have lots of? Lots of intellectual property with, say, Disney characters. And 11 Labs is also behind, someone said, no, for what? 11 Labs cloning your voice. Yeah, exactly. 11 Labs is also the voice. Gemini's a train wreck. I know. It really is. Oh, they also, you know how I was bitching about you can't get Gemini if you have a work group account? Now you can. So either for $20 or $30, you can add Gemini to the thing you're already paying for. And then at some point, they say, we're going to give you access to Gemini Ultra. So 11 Labs is now part of the Disney accelerator. And 11 Labs is the one that sits behind HeyGen, right? The HeyGen video translation stuff. That's 11 Labs sitting behind that. Then, just because we shit all over Google, let's unshit on them. A week after they launch Gemini Ultra, they announce and give limited access to a thing called Gemini Pro 1.5, which I guess is their middle model, but it's the 1.5 version of it, and it's got a 1 million token context window, which you're like, I don't know what that means. It means you can upload like 6 complete white papers, and it just will understand them all. Or you can it's multimodal. You can upload an hour of video. Ethan Mullock today said he did a screen recording of himself reading a bunch of articles and uploaded that video to Gemini, and it just understood all of what he did. He also uploaded him working, and Gemini understood what he was doing and suggested improvements. Like Ethan Mullock. So if you don't follow Ethan Mullock, he's a Wharton Business School professor. You should follow him. He writes like, I don't know, once or twice a day. For the past 3-4 days, he's been writing like 7, 8, 10 times a day, all about Gemini 1.5 and how a million token context window changes everything. Everything's different. This is a guy that's been paying attention to this shit every single day for years. He's like, shit's different. Deco here, which is a tool that we've played with in here before that makes quick images. It's using SDXL Turbo, and they added a thing today called a reference photo, which I'll show you later, where you just upload a picture of yourself and it's like instant AI of you. It's like, holy shit. Midjourney is apparently in talks with X.com about getting hitched. Million tokens is how many Harry Potter books? I think it's probably all of them. Nvidia announced their quarterly earnings, and they dramatically exceeded the market. When did we get? Oh wait, when did this start? 8:30. I just started. I'm just reading through a list of shit that happened. I haven't really started yet. The Vision Pro goggles, like people are just continue to lose their mind over them. Like that wasn't just a blip of Apple fanboys going, "This is good." There's been like a sustained 2-week, holy shit, Vision Pro changes things. And then you had Mark Zuckerberg in there going, I think that the Oculus Rift is every bit as good as the Vision Pro, and it's 1/7 the price. And I knew it would be better value, but I just didn't think it would be a better product. but it is. Our product's so much better because it's made with plastic, and theirs has some sort of see-through glass, and it's just plastic's so much better. So that happened. Then Groq, not that Groq, not Elon Musk's Groq. The Groq with a Q, not with a K. Groq is a chip manufacturer, and they manufacture some AI-specific chip. And you can go to Groq.com, Groq.com, and go type a prompt in there. Go do it right now. 500 tokens a second. It's like 350 words a second. It just goes like... It just like vomits out answers at you, like bang. You're like, oh, okay, so... Not only are these tools going to be able to answer anything, they're going to be able to answer them like that. And then right before, the last thing I just remembered is Reddit. Reddit is announcing their IPO. So holy shit. And it was Matt Wolf wrote today. He goes, wasn't it last March when like all of the companies launched all of the shit that blew all of our minds? I have a feeling we're about to enter funny season. End of the first quarter. Shit's getting good, but shit's getting weird. And it's getting chaotic. It's getting really chaotic. It's going to get more chaotic. Have you embraced the jank? Have you embraced the jank? Everything in AI right now is janky. Learn to love it, because it's not going to be here that long. You can make money with ChatGPT. We're going to look back at 2023 and go, it was so sweet when the AI was slow and made mistakes, and the images had personality because they were janky. It's going to get weird, people. It's going to get weird. No, I know it's 2024. I'm just saying 2023 was like normal. 2023, the last normal year. 2024, It's starting to accelerate. So we'll go mid February is when the rockets kicked in. My feet are cold. My feet are cold. Listen, people, my feet are cold. I gotta go deal with that. Okay. I'll be back. I'm just gonna go put on shoesy shoes, and then we'll be back and we'll do something. Big news today. Google took down its own image generator. Yeah, I saw that. Did they actually do that? Also, AT&T went down today, and they're trying to figure out if it was a hack. Because apparently, well, I can't say it on here. Some people have infiltrated our infrastructure more than the government suspected. Let me get shoes. Hang on. I'll be back. Talk amongst yourselves. Hey, Chippy. I'm afraid my rabbit will be shit by the time I get it. I know, me too. The rabbit phase 1 is supposed to come out mid-March, which probably means mid-April. Their Discord's been really slow too. I actually bitched about it. I went in their Discord and I'm like, does anyone that works at Rabbit, is anyone still posting in here? Like, and someone from Rabbit was like, oh, we're still here. We're still here. Oh man. All right. What are we gonna do? What do you guys want to do? What questions do you have? Let me see what's going on. Let me see what's going on in here. Are we full of trolls tonight? Are we full of lovers? We got empathy tonight? Or we got hate and rage and bitterness? Which one is it? What's it gonna be tonight? Embrace the jank. Is the Google thing true? Did Google really pull down their image generator? Let me go to Gemini Ultra because I have access to Ultra. Gemini. Yeah, see? Yeah. Hello, Kyle. How can I help you today? Make a picture of janky AI technology. Doing something. I got twirling stars. It did it. All right, let me go to non-ultra. Let me go to just Gemini. Little old Gemini, and this isn't 1.5, by the way. Whoever told me that last night was lying, a liar and a cheat. Make an image of janky AI technology. I'm still learning to create images, so I can't help you with that yet. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. All right. If we're good at ChatGPT, do we really need things like Jasper.ai? That is an excellent question, Teresa. Technically, no. Jasper AI, Copy AI, tools like that are basically just pre-written prompts sitting on top of ChatGPT or on top of GPT-4 or 3, whatever they're using. Probably 4 if they're doing copy. You could technically go do all that shit yourself, right? Just learn to prompt. The problem with sites like Jasper and Copy AI is that they start out with like, oh, we should do 10 things. Like, okay, we'll do a short paragraph blog post, and then we'll do a tweet, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do that. And then before they know it, they've got 8,000 buttons and options and things that are all prompts and sub-prompts and things like that. And it's like, it takes you as long to learn the interface as it would just to go to ChatGPT and ask it to write you that shit. So you're absolutely correct. LinkedIn, how do I get to your office hours? Okay, so tomorrow, if you want to hang out in a more like just hanging out session, I do a thing called AI office hours at 11 a.m. Mountain. Is that right? Yeah. 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern on LinkedIn. And so how you get to it is you go to my... You go to my profile. So I'm at Kyle Shannon on LinkedIn. And then... Are there events? Huh. Resources. Show all 5 resources. I don't know where events are on LinkedIn. Like when I go to my profile... Hang on. So if I just go to LinkedIn... Just look up AI office hours and Kyle Shannon. You should find it. And I don't have tomorrow's up. I'll put it up in the morning. But you should be able to see. So here. Here's the event link. Where can I put this? I could put this. Oh, you know where I'll put this? I'll put this in the Irregulars channel in the AI Salon. And then, let's see. I'll put it in the chat. All right, so tomorrow, AI office hours on LinkedIn, 11 a.m. MST, and then I'll put the that thing. There you go. So it's there. Listen, there are much more professional ways to do that. Like I could have that thing up for more than an hour in the morning on a Friday, but yeah, welcome to Chat ADD. Yeah, I got organizational skills. Can I sell you some organizational skills? You can make money with ChatGPT. I'll teach you how to organize with ChatGPT. You just give me $49.95, $79.95 for the first hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? All right. A friend called and said he finally started using chat after months of me prompting. No pun intended. He's hooked. Every fucking skeptic I know, with the exception of Eric Marcoulier, he's sticking to his guns because he's using ChatGPT and he still hates it. I still am not convinced he's using it right, though. He's bitter about it, and I like that. I appreciate that in him. At least he's fucking using it, right? Every skeptic I know, when they actually use this shit, they're like, oh, that's better than I thought it would be. Hey, Kyle, I know you've been talking about this AI stuff for a little bit lately. Are you on TikTok? Anyway, so listen, I was on, have you used the Chat GPT? Yeah. So I went on the Chat GPT and I thought it was just like Google, right? And then I did like a search, and it said, I don't have that latest information. And it was like old, and I was like, well, that's kind of useless. And then I asked it to make me a business plan, and so anyway, so I just launched a new business. I didn't know it could do that. Every fucking one. Why do they always talk like that too? I'm a skeptic, and so this is how I talk. This is just how I talk. I don't know what's going on with my mouth. This is just how God gave it to me. You know, bless him. What is with those people? Figure I'd give ChatGPT a try, and hey, did you know that it makes pictures? No, but you know what's funny is I put in the John Deere lawnmower, the push mower, the green one, and I said, wouldn't it be hilarious if it had a picture of a John Deere push mower on a lawn, and sure enough, it had a picture right in there. Like how many pictures are in there? It's a lot, right? That was really something. What was the AI that came out today that said that you upload a photo to turn it into AI? It's on your list. Deco here. So let's go play with that. We'll get back to the skeptics because they. By the way, if you're in here right now, I see you. If you're in here and you're like, if you're one of these sitting on the sidelines, like, well, I don't know if you know this, but it hallucinates. You know, it's the world's greatest plagiarism engine. If you're sitting on the sidelines and you haven't fucking tried it, go right now. Is he always this aggressive? He seems mighty aggressive. Go right now to chat.openai.com. Just do it. Oh yeah, I'll get to it tomorrow. No, now. Now. Do it now. Chat.openai.com and just start playing with it. While you're listening to me ramble and show off this Deco here shit, go ask it to write you a poem, ask it to write you a song, ask it to write you a business plan, ask it to come up with a new pizza recipe, ask it to write some code for you. Just go watch what it does. And then when you're like, oh, that's cute, push past the cute. And take something like, I don't know, maybe you're really into, 15th century literature. Ask it about some obscure shit from your literature degree and watch what it does. Push it. Go now. Go. All right? I'm not putting up with it. I'm not putting up with you ne'er-do-well skeptics who are sitting on the sideline. If you want to be against AI after having tried it, I'm happy to have that conversation. But if you're just over there listening to what you heard on the New York fucking Times, all right. Sorry you asked, Jim, right? All right. That had nothing to do with Jim, by the way. All right, where are we going? We're going to go to app.decohere.com. App.decohere.com. And we're going to sign in with the Google single sign-on. Google made it so easy for us to all just sign on. They're definitely not keeping our data of all the apps we sign on with. Definitely not. They take privacy really seriously. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Okay, so this is it. So if you haven't seen it before, you can just go in here and you can type in a large, semi truck in pink polka dots, zooming down the highway in New Jersey at dusk. All right. So, if you haven't seen anything built on top of SDXL Turbo, that's what this is. SDXL Turbo just like makes shit in real time as you're typing it. It's bonkers, it's crazy. And then there's like a whole bunch of pictures here. And then you can take any one of those pictures. I don't know why I'm talking like this all of a sudden. Gee Willikers, Mr. Gee Willikers, Mr. McGillicuddy. I don't think I've had enough water today. Ye old vocal cords are seizing up on me. All right. I can take this thing and I can click this little button right here and just say movie. And it's, wait. Oh yeah, it's queued up. Okay. So it's going to make a movie out of that image. So that's in the lower thing down here. Okay, so that's all cool, right? But they've added this little button right here called Use Reference Person. And so, I don't know. Let's take someone like, say, Taylor Swift. And so it's now got the reference in there. And so I can say, woman sitting outside woman sitting outside a Chrome diner in the 1950s. I mean, holy shit. Holy shit. Now, okay, couple of things that I've discovered that are weird about it. I can't say like close up or like far away shot. Like we can't see like her standing in front of the diner. We can only see from like the shoulders up because that's what the reference photo is. But holy good Lord, right? And now let me change out that reference photo for, who's that, Brie Larson? Yeah. So now it's Brie Larson in front of Yon 50s Diner. That actually kind of looks like her. And then you're like, oh, well, they got all those pictures in there already. That's how it can do that, Kyle. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but they put like, you know, they create a whole database of pictures and then they're just pulling it up there and they're copy and pasting her face in front of it. No, you dum-dum, it's not like that. So we'll go get, I actually paid for a $9 dreams. I paid for a $9 a month subscription for that stupid thing so I could show you all this. I invest in you people. I do it. All right. That's not what I was looking for. Dang it. Contains dreams. I should have Kyle Shannon dreams in here somewhere. No? Kyle Shannon dreams. Oh, there, look. We'll do serious me. All right, there's serious me. All right? Let's say, okay, that's just rude. That is just rude. That okay, we'll do this. Oh, I got it. Okay. Sears carpet salesman from the 1970s. Oh, hey, Tom Lundgren here. Can I interest you in some high pile? Listen, I'll tell you what the new thing's gonna be. The new thing's gonna be tiled carpets. Yeah, you don't buy it in rolls anymore. You buy it in squares. And I'll tell you what, the new stuff, it's got adhesive on the back. Anyway, here's my card, Tom Lundgren. Give me a ring. Let's see. So let's see. J.C. Penney's. J.C. Penney's. Yeah, salesman. Yeah, salesman's good. Let's see. Salesman. We'll say vice president from the 1970s. What was? Why was there a gun there? In the corporate headquarters. All right, let's see. Tattoo artist in Greenwich Village, New York City in the 80s. Listen, I'd like something a little lacy across the chest. So I just shaved. I shaved down to my nipples. I don't like to use that term, but I don't want to be forward. Anyway, so I'm clean. Just down to sort of water level. Let's call it water level, okay? So anyway, so what I'm thinking is I would love just a little lace if I could have like a, not so much a necklace, just kind of like whatever you would call that, right up through here. Let's see, from the 80s, with a tribal tattoo on his face. Come on, let's get some face tattoos going. Listen, I was wondering. Look at the hair. You gotta show your wife. I think my wife has seen enough. She's seen me with this hair. Oh, good Lord. All right, let's see. Let's say motorcycle gang member in southern LA in 1999 on a big Harley. Yeah, we call him Babyface. You don't fuck with Babyface. Yeah, he looks sweet enough. Yeah, he's all right. He's all right. I wouldn't fuck with him. I mean, look at his hair. Anyone that goes around with that, they're willing to take you on. And they're going to fucking take you down. He's not going to risk messing that hair up. You know what I'm saying? You don't fuck with babyface. Should have invested in Nvidia. Honest to God, I was doing this. I started the AI salon last fucking January. Nvidia was like, what was it, $100 or $70? Now it's $760. It's like, I think Nvidia's market cap just exceeded Canada's GDP or some shit like that. It's like, good Lord. Oh, man. Okay, so anyway, that's Deco here's. Oh, let's look at the video that it made for us. So here's the pink truck. Yeah, see, these videos, like the stability AI videos right now are kind of shitty. They're not great. But I did a cool thing. I took this picture. This was one I did earlier. And I took the picture. So this was the picture that Deco here made out of my photo earlier. And then I took it into Chat GPT. I took it into Chat GPT. And it made that image. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's electric. It's middle-aged Bob. How you doing? I told it to give me salt and pepper hair, and it made it like some rad punk thing. Kyle, you never told chat what the app was. Yeah, I did. Deco, app.decohere.ai. This other app that we were doing. This one. This is Deco here. app.decohere, DECOHERE.ai. Mr. K, what's happening? Look, Mr. K, you too can be a biker. Let's see. Pop art poster with blonde, spiky hair. No, what? Yeah. That's good. I think that's appropriate. So this is one of the things on the list. Let me go back to the list. It's crazy, right? And like this is like what's freaking me out, because one of the things when I first started doing Kyle Shannon Dreams, so like fall of 22, I started making these images, and people were like, I just want to upload a picture of myself and like make a thing. And like, well, it's not that easy, and you got to make a model, and you got to do this, and you got to go to Dream Booth and do that, and then there were these apps that came out, and it's like, well, you got to pay the $9.95 a month or the $19.95 a month, but then make sure you cancel because just get to. And so now it's just like, yeah, you just put your picture there and you just make yourself into some androgynous 80s pop star. Boom, done. Now, does it look exactly like me? No, but it's enough to make me laugh. Like, it's close enough. It's in the hood. Crazy, right? Let's turn Joe Rogan into an 80s pop star, shall we? Hey, Joe Rogan. Look, you think you're so macho. Look at you now with your pop background. Come on. Come on. He looks like De Niro in Taxi Driver. I'm a sunflower. Hey, it's Joe Rogan, Sunflower. Welcome to 80s Pop. Oh, yeah. You go, Joe Rogan. You're so butch. Love you. Deco here has a few guardrails compared to the other tools, which is has few guardrails. Yeah, and in fact, you can turn them off. The safety filter you can turn off if you subscribe to it, which is pretty smart. This is actually pretty smart. So this tool, by the way, Deco here is just an application. It's like a website someone built on top of Stable Diffusion tools, okay? So just like Jasper was sitting on top of ChatGPT, and I'm like, it's not really worth playing with. Some of these tools built on top of Stable Diffusion are pretty slick because they take all the complexity away, right? So it might be worth paying a month or two on this just to play with it. But you could go do all this shit in Stable Diffusion if you want to geek out. You could go do all this stuff for free. But anyway, they charge you. You can see that you can turn watermarks off and safety filters off only if you subscribe, which I thought was pretty slick. Hey, Joe Rogan, you're looking fresh. Hey, thanks. That's awesome. Okay, I have an idea. Let's go find a funny one. Nah, that's too real. Well, that's not bad. All right, that's good. So I'm going to turn motion up to 10, and we're going to turn this into a video. Let's see how wacky it makes Joe Rogan. What did the New York Times say? I don't know. About what? What's the name of the AI? Please tell us what the name of the AI is, Kyle. I want to know what the name of the AI is. Is this the one? Is this the one? Is this it? How do you get there? It's pinned. It's pinned. It's pinned. It's not pinned now. Decohere.ai. The hair is over 9,000. Looks like Billy Idol. Deco here. My camping neighbors must think I'm mental. All they can hear is me laughing. Oh, look, we got a Joe Rogan movie. Come on, please not be boring. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Let's download this. Download. Did I download it? Yeah, I did. Okay. We're going to go to X. And I love doing stupid shit like tagging Sam Altman, which, by the way, he never got back to me and he never rendered my movie, butthead. So I'm going to go at Joe Rogan. At Joe Rogan. Hey, man. Let's see. You were so cool in the 80s, man. And then let's upload our little movie. All right, so do me a favor. Go to my Twitter. Go to my X, which is, it's at Kyle Shannon. And all right, I just tagged Joe Rogan, so go boost the shit out of that thing. Let's see if we can get Joe Rogan to respond. Oh, Lordy. All right, that's some good fun right there. I'll tell you what. That's some good times. You go out there on the internet and you play with some of them there AI tools and you make some funny picture like Joe Rogan with a tie-dye background. You put it out there on the X. They call it X now. They used to call it Twitter anyway. You put it on the X.com and then you just say to Joe Rogan, "Hey Joe Rogan, look at you in the 1980s." It's so funny. That's you got any more Twinkies? La da 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 dee dee dee. Did he take his medication today? All right, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Chrome gets built-in AI writing tool powered by Gemini. Really? Oh, I think I saw that. I was in something. Yeah, and it was like 3 little options came up. I think I saw that little writing tool inside Chrome. Yeah, this stuff's going to be everywhere. Adobe brings, conversational AI to trillions of PDFs with the new AI assistant in Reader and Acrobat. I haven't played with that yet. I really want to play with the new Gemini 1.5. But I assume that they're not releasing it because the 1 million token context window is probably expensive, is my guess. Kyle didn't take his medications. Yeah. But look, I did do my hair. Put my head in a blender, did my hair. Can we write some classical piano music? We could do that. You could do it at Refusion. But I think Refusion, I don't know if Refusion, you know what? I'm not good enough at the music tools to do it in a way. Can you explain stable diffusion and how it works? I can explain how diffusion models work, yes. Stable diffusion is just one of many tools that are using the diffusion method or model or whatever the fuck they call it. I have a slide that explains how that works if you want to know. I think I'm going to have to pull something down from Yield iCloud. But let me do that. And I'll educate you on how these image generation tools work. So one of the things that is a misconception of AI right now is that it copy and pastes from the source material. It does not. The source material ceases to exist once it's trained and embedded. In the case of text documents, they all turn into these things called vectors, which is just a long string of numbers that just live in 1,000-dimensional mathematical space. That sounds like I'm just making shit up. That's what it is. You have a point in 1,000-dimensional mathematical space, and when you type a prompt, the mathematics of the large language model says, based on that prompt, there's a probability somewhere in this massive vector space, they call it, this 1,000-dimensional space, where one of those points has the highest probability of being the right thing. And then that point in space is associated with a word. And then it puts that word in. And then it does it again. And then it does it again and again and again. So when it spits out all that text, it's generating it what they call token by token, but effectively word by word. It's writing original content. The image tools are similarly funky and weird. And they're not copying and pasting. So, all right, this is how diffusion images are made. So, see that pretty picture? Let's say that pretty picture is in the training set. So when you use an image generation tool, you've got two models that are interacting. You've got the large language model, which understands the words, and then you've got the diffusion model, which has got some data about images. But what happens is you would take this image, for example, and you would tag it, right? So human beings, or maybe even computer systems using AI, would write a bunch of tags for this. So they would say, I don't know, anime, cartoon, illustration, whatever those trees are, cherry blossoms or whatever the heck they are, cliff, cottage, house, rocks, garden, lawn, bushes, whatever, sky clouds, mist, haze, right? So there'd be a whole bunch of tags. And then this thing gets embedded, or this thing gets noised. So they noise it. So, okay, so you're uploading a whole bunch of images into the data set that have been tagged. And then the way these things work is this. You have the large language model that understands the words, and then you have the image model that understands images. So see how that thing just went noisy, where it was an image before, and now it's been noised into just sort of this random noisy image? So the labeled images have noise added and are vectorized, so that they're basically turned into numbers. And then, and then based on your prompt, the large language model interprets and filters the relevant image vectors. Now, that doesn't mean shit, but here's what happens. So this is a very simplified vector space. This is a two-dimensional vector space, X and Y, right? And then these little clusters, you have, related little clusters of points in vector space that are tied to the tags of those images, right? And so when you type in your prompt, which in this case is cat on a desk, the large language model sort of goes through its vector space and it says there's a bunch of these things that are not relevant, but these pink ones, are all sort of cats, and these blue ones are all sort of desks, right? They've been tagged. And then associated with all of those points in vector space are a bunch of these noised images that you can't see anything on. And then, somehow mathematically, they take all the shit that is high probability of these noised images that it knows nothing about them other than there was some association with some word and there's some probability. And it turns it into like an average of all of these noisy images. Here's this noisy image. And then what the system does is it takes the same algorithm that turned them into noise in the first place, and it denoises this averaged image. Oops, what did it do? Oh. So it denoises it, and it gets a little less noisy and a little less noisy, and then in the end, you have a cat on a desk. So it has no idea what's in the image. So this is why early on, because it wasn't trained right, you'd get hands that were like this, because when it averaged the images together, maybe it brought hands together in a weird way. I don't know how they fixed that shit. But it's all just math. It's all points in vector space, and it's these sort of, messes of images that get averaged into this one image. And that's why you sometimes get things that look normal, but not quite. Like if you ask for a 70s muscle car, it'll look sort of like a Mopar car, and then it's kind of got a Chevy Chevelle kind of feel to it, or an AMC Javelin kind of feel to it. So that's how they work. Isn't that crazy? And what's even crazier, when you're doing something like Deco here, where's Deco here? There's Joe. Joe's so cute. Let's get rid of Joe, and we'll start over here. And we'll go ancient teapot on a museum pedestal. All that shit I was just talking about is happening in real time with this model. So like, there's just like fucking millions of images that have been noised, and in real time, it's averaging them and denoising them in like half a second or however long it takes. Not long. So like, these are not pictures that exist, but these are amalgamations of some elements of pictures that exist. But like the actual images cease to exist in the space, in the latent space, or in the diffusion space. I don't know what they call it with images. Isn't that crazy? It's just nutty. It's just nutty. It's just nutty. Now I don't know. You know that the AI they put them in they put it in they use the GPU. So they use the GPU. The GPU, it stands for graphics processing unit. In the gamers, the gamers used to buy the GPU to make the game go faster. They wanted the 60 hertz, and then they wanted the 90 hertz, and then they wanted 120 hertz, so they could put hertz on the enemy, right? And so they did the GPU. And then all the other chip manufacturers are like, yeah, you can go, Nvidia, you just go make them GPUs for all them snotty-nosed little teenagers. That's good. That's fine. Everything's fine. You can go do that. We're not going to make them. Why don't you go make the GPUs? We'll make the CPUs and the RAM. And then you make the GPUs, and then everybody good, right? You good? We're good? And then the crypto came, and they were making blockchain. They were doing the Bitcoin and the NFTs. And they use the GPUs, and all the chip manufacturers are like, yeah, you just Nvidia go make them chips for the blockchain. That's good. The gamers don't want it anymore, but the blockchain people do. Yeah, just go make that now. And then all of a sudden the AI came out, and then everyone's like, yeah, Nvidia, just go make them AI chips. And we're good. We're not gonna make them. And then ChatGPT came out. And 100 million people used it, and all the other people were like, holy shit, we got to make GPUs. What do we do? It was too late. Nvidia has the market cornered because no one gave a shit about it. Apparently. Fucking crazy. I don't know why my Billy Bob character there knew so much about chip manufacturing, but stranger things have happened. The world's going to get weird. People are going to have all sorts of knowledge you don't think they should have access to. And seen. Thank you, Lord Digital Gods. Was that payment for my performance? All right, let's go do some more show and tell. How do you get over the criticism that everyone hates you? Well, that's not what she said. How do you get over the criticism that training sets are mass theft? I can never reconcile that. It's not an easy answer. If it were actually sampling, I would say, if it were actually like sampling in the 80s and 90s with hip hop, they were actually chopping chunks out of songs and putting them in other songs, right? So they're actually doing that. First of all, that's not how these tools work. So part of it is just, there's an assumption on the part of the artist whose works have been used for training that these tools work a way they don't. Now, why it's gray and weird is you can prompt large language models and you can prompt image generation tools to get really fucking close to someone's work. And, turns out that ye old Midjourney, they don't have any fucking scruples at all. And, there was a document that was leaked from Midjourney that said, here's all the artists that we explicitly trained on their data. And they put those names in the model so that when you say in the style of some artist, it looks just like that artist, right? Because Midjourney is just basically run by a cowboy that's like, fuck it, let's go, woo! Adobe Firefly, on the other hand, was not trained on copywritten images. So one of your counters can be, if you're really concerned about that, go use Adobe Firefly, because it was only trained on open source or public domain images and images that Adobe already bought the rights to or owned the rights to. And then Adobe is also allowing artists to opt out of being trained, opt into being trained, and they're developing attribution and compensation models. I don't know where they are on that, but Adobe is at least being conscious of this. Midjourney's like, fuck it, which is why Midjourney's better than everything else, because they just said, screw it. Now, here's how I think about it. From a conceptual standpoint, the way these models work, it's actually a lot closer to if you go to college and all you do is study pop art. You love pop art. You love Andy Warhol. You love Lichtenstein. You like all Keith Haring. You like all the pop art, artists of the 80s. And you study everything about them. And just in your head are going images and words and how they think about things and their poetry and who were the poets of the time. And they were listening to Velvet Underground, and you got Lou Reed and Laurie Anderson, and all that shit's going in your head. And then you leave college and you're like, I'm going to make a masterpiece. And the first piece of art you do looks just like Keith Haring, or it looks just like Andy Warhol. Well, is that their work? Are you going to get sued for that? Well, the Keith Haring estate sues the shit out of people that make fat marker, people that look like Keith Haring drew them. So the Keith Haring estate, they've put a flag in the ground and like, we'll sue you if it looks anything like it. But you've been inspired by those guys, and you're doing a kind of work that is, you're the one coming up with the idea, you're the one executing it, and you might have been inspired by them. So it's more like that. And most of the times, what's happening when I see people doing things in AI, they're not going, I want something that looks like Andy Warhol and I want it like that. Now, you can do that. It's really fucking lazy. The artists that I know that are doing this are like, okay, I want something that kind of has this vibe to it. No, I want it more like this. I want it more like that. If you watch Corey Sandler, her art, she'll go through 30, 40, 70, 100 different variations of an image before she gets to one where she's like, ooh, that's the feeling I'm going for. And then she pulls that one out. And then the other place I go is, so that's kind of it conceptually. And then the other place I go is this. Machine learn, the P in GPT stands for pre-trained. And what OpenAI did for ChatGPT is they said, let me go get as much of the public internet as I can, and let me train this thing on all that data out there. So they're effectively performing the function of a library or a museum. They're collecting the output of humanity that was put in this particular form called the internet, and they're putting it in the digital equivalent of a museum, right? Of a library. So they said, okay, as much of the internet as we could get, we're going to get it, we're going to jam it in here. If you carry that to its logical extension, you take all of the output of humanity and you make it accessible to the rest of humanity. There is a much bigger thing at play here than individual contributors going, you owe me a millionth of a penny every time an image might slightly look like my askew glasses from my famous photo, right? I love your lives. You make AI fun. Thank you, Susie. AI Ninja Mastermind. Hi, it's Susie, AI Ninja Mastermind. How can I help you? Welcome to the party, kids. So for me, you should never train on someone else's art is kind of like saying you should never put shit in a library and you should never put shit in museums, because only the people that created them or have the rights to them should ever be able to do anything with them. There's a really interesting response when Sam Altman was asked about the New York Times lawsuit in Davos. They're suing him because what they're claiming is the data set was trained on New York Times data, because they can do a prompt in a certain way that will pull up a direct quote from a New York Times piece. So Sam Altman had a couple of interesting points. The first one was, we don't need the New York Times for training data. Like we've got enough. And the analogy he used was, if you want to get like a high school biology education and you've read 2,000 books on biology, does the 2001st book really make a difference? Nah, it doesn't. What he said was the reason they were in negotiations with the New York Times to cut a publishing deal was on the output side, so that when somebody did a search on ChatGPT and it came up with an answer, like they could actually reference New York Times data and say, hey, here's an actual reference for the New York Times, click here to go there. They were trying to cut an attribution deal, not on the training data, but on the output side. The other thing he said is, the New York Times publishes digital data. And so when someone's got a subscription to the New York Times and there's a really good article there, sometimes they'll copy and paste that and stick it on LinkedIn or stick it in a PDF or stick parts of it in their article. So while OpenAI could easily say, don't train on NewYorkTimes.com, it's effectively impossible for them to say, find every instance of every mention of the New York Times at every location on the internet for all of time. Could they do it? Well, they could. But, it goes back to the library thing. Should no New York Times ever be in a library? Should you never be able to go back and look at those? Why do libraries exist? For the good of humanity. So if you play out the OpenAI data training set to its logical extension, you put all of the data from all of humanity in it. Mary, thank you, Kyle. This is so common sense to me as well. Now listen, I don't think it's crystal clear, but I think it's impossible. It's an impossible solution, right? Here's the solution as I see it. Right now, everyone's chasing the outputs. Everyone's saying, well, if I put out a song and you copied my song, I'm going to sue you because that's copyright. We're moving into a world of infinite content generation. So how many millions of fans does Taylor Swift have? 100 million, a billion? Let's say a billion. So how many millions of fans does Taylor Swift have? 100 million, a billion? Let's say a billion. That talk about my dog named Sam and my sister named Lily and the little creek that we go swimming in. And a song will start playing that is Taylor Swift singing that song. And at some point, I promise you, one of those billions of people that writes one of those trillions of Taylor Swift songs, that song is going to become a hit. And then what happens? Does Taylor Swift sue her fans or partner with them? Right? So I think it's ridiculous, even in a 3-year window, to go after the outputs, because the outputs are gone. Like, copyright as a mechanism was based on the fact that it used to be hard to replicate content. And then the internet came and digital music came, and they sort of finagled some fucking Byzantine laws about sample sizes, and if you use less than 11 seconds, and it's common, like all that bullshit to work around the fact that, like, it's just infinitely easy to copy and distribute digital data. Well, now we're moving to the next evolution of this, which is it's infinitely easy to generate original content that sounds like whatever the fuck we want it to sound like. So, here's where I think the solution goes. And YouTube has already teased this. So YouTube, about a month ago, put out a thing, I forget what they called it. It was some sort of audio thing, where if you want original music behind your YouTube short, they cut a deal with Charlie Puth and T-Pain. And you can go, I have a video about me ranting about copyright issues. Could you please have Charlie Puth sing my background music? And it makes a song written in the style of Charlie Puth with the voice of Charlie Puth about your little topic, and they let you put that song behind your YouTube video and play it for everyone to hear. They're paying him on the generation. T-Pain and Charlie Puth have an original model that is licensed to YouTube on the generation. Fuck them. Let them make all they want. Just pay us every time they push the button. Every time you go, make me a Charlie Puth song, send me a nickel. Charlie Puth song, nickel. Charlie Puth song, nickel. And then if that song becomes a hit, fuck it. That was cool. I got my nickels. Sora Red Team members said that it takes 1 hour to render 1 minute and said 90 hours for a 90-minute movie. Yeah, that'll get faster. It takes 1 hour to render. I figured that would be the case because when Sam Altman was saying, hey, send me your ideas, I'll render your videos, all of the videos that Sam Altman was doing were 10 seconds long. So if it takes an hour to do a 60-second clip, yeah, so it's 10 minutes for 10 seconds. So it's a minute per second, right? That's what it sounds like. So that will get faster, but that doesn't surprise me at all. Like, it doesn't surprise me at all. And that's also why I think we're probably not going to see Sora for 2-3 months, maybe even more. But they're putting it out there to let us know what's coming. And I don't think Sora is going to be the last one from OpenAI. I think OpenAI is going to give us 4 or 5 of these things. I heard boxes rustling and woke up. I have my box out. This is the world's biggest library and biggest museum. I didn't go the whole way through it, but I was yelling about copyright. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. That was my $1.87 on it. And the other thing is this. You can bitch all you want, you can whine all you want, you can pick it all you want. The horse done be out of the barn. They shouldn't train on our data. They already did. They shouldn't have access to all of our private data. Well, that's Google and Facebook. We gave it to them 20 years ago. So that ship's also already sailed. They should pay me for my blog posts. Okay, how many blog posts do you think are out there? If you took your stupid little blog post, let's say they weren't stupid. Let's say they were brilliant, and you did a blog post a day for the last 10 years. How many other blog posts are there out there that if someone prompted ChatGPT in a way that somehow said something that sounded sort of like something you wrote in a blog post, if we could figure that out, what percentage of a penny would be fair to give to you. I made 6 cents on my collective writings over the past decade. I don't know. It's just... I have deep empathy for artists and creators who are feeling like their reality is being ripped out from under them. Because it is. I don't think it serves them to just bitch about it and cross their arms and go, fuck AI. Because it's not going to make AI go away. And what's going to happen is you're going to have an artist like Grimes, shortly after Spotify took down the Weeknd and Drake song that was an AI song that was a hit on Spotify. And then Drake and the Weeknd's publishers said, take that shit down right now. The week after that, or maybe even the day after they took that down, Grimes, Elon Musk's ex, who's a musician, said to her fans, synthesize me all you want. Deep fake me all you want. If you make any money, give me half. She's going to make a fortune. Do you know who's going to make money for the artists that are trying to sue their fans? The lawyers. The IP attorneys right now are fucking dancing. They're yacht shopping. They've got the big glossy yacht catalogs. They're like, do I go with 120 meter? Huh. Okay, it's gonna take a crew of 7 at a minimum. All right, so my annual burn is gonna be $20 million. Or do I go with the 150? 30 million bucks a year to run my yacht? I think I'm going the 150. Oh yeah, sorry, yes. Sue the shit out of the fans. Absolutely. Yep, nope, we're right there with you. We're drafting the lawsuit right now. Hey, I just got one thing. Yeah, let's go with the 150. Let's go with the 150 meter. Yeah, fantastic. That what? Oh, I can only keep it in certain ports. The draft is too deep. That's all. You know what? Could we dredge the port at Ibiza? We could. Fantastic. All right, let's go with the 150. Anyway, yeah, we'll be suing those fans just shortly there. Lars. That's who's making money in this shit. So my advice, my point of view is, if you're an artist, get AI literate. Figure this shit out. Learn how it works. Understand what are the mechanisms, because I guarantee you there are going to be some companies that come out that make it really easy for artists to make a model of themselves and monetize it. In fact, 11 Labs is one of those. Look. Shutdown, payouts. Voices. Create. Let's see. 11 Labs. Forget what they're called. Voice for pay. The fuck was it called? When you share your voice in the voice library. So on 11 Labs, payouts, 11 Labs. When you share your voice in the voice library, you can earn cash rewards every time it's used. So in 11 Labs right now, if you upload a 30-minute or longer sample of your voice, so this is targeted at voice actors, you can create a model or multiple models. Let's say you do a funny voice like this. And then you do a fantastic voice like this. And then you just do normal Kyle voice. I could make those 3 models, put them on 11 Labs, market them, and then every time someone uses that model, I get paid. That's what actors should be doing. That's what artists should be doing. And you know what's going to happen? A lot of artists are going to be sitting like this going, AI is stealing from us. And the other ones are going to go, this is scarier than shit, but I'm going to learn it. And I'm just going to act like it's just another in a series of technologies that's going to change the game. And I'm going to be ahead of the curve. And I'm going to go make my model in 11 Labs. And then I'll go make one over on Apple. And then I'll go make one over here. And I'll go make one over there. And then Meta's going to do one. And then at some point, it's all going to shake out. And there will be 2 leaders. And I'll be one of the premier voices on one of those 2 sites that survives. And I'll have a career still. And the people that are like this, they're stealing from me, are just going to be drunk and angry. Well, I could have done that, but And again, I have deep empathy for them, but it's not going away. It doesn't matter what you think about it. It doesn't matter if you think it's morally not cool. It's coming anyway. It's a tsunami. You can run around the beach all you want arguing about whether or not tsunamis are good. It's still coming, right? So buy a fucking surfboard and start paddling. Man, that was a soapbox and a half, wasn't it? So I don't know if that answers your question about how you deal with people that say this shit's stealing. I understand why people think that. I don't disagree with some of their points. And this shit ain't going away. So figure it out. Get ahead of it. License your shit before someone steals your shit. Recording artists earn from the live performances now, less from recording. So I've heard. Yeah, that makes sense. And listen, Thelonious, I think the value of live performances goes up. In a world of infinite content, being able to see your favorite artist get up there and kill it, pretty cool. I forgot that Charlie thing. This could be a cool essay. Yeah, I think this would be a good essay. I should grab the transcript of my rant and see if there's any coherent thought in there. New York Times thinks they're dealing with old school search engine. They're clueless. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, I think all the people that are making these lawsuits, if you look at the language of the lawsuits, they're basically based on the 80s and 90s music sampling technology theory. We found clips of our shit in your shit, therefore it's in your shit. But it's not. And so we'll see. Ultimately, it comes down to who's got the better lobbyists, right? And also, the other thing about the New York Times, it's mighty convenient that after they did a $100 million deal with Google, they sued OpenAI, right? I'm sure Google had nothing to say about I wouldn't cut a deal with OpenAI. I mean, haven't they trained on all your data? I mean, I'd sue them if I were you. Anyway, you do you. Here's your $100 million. See you next week, Bob. Not that I'm bitter or cynical or anything. I wonder how all these will continue to develop after the war will start. What? What are you talking about? I want to create one with a strong Russian accent. But you need a paid act before you can upload. You need a paid act before you can upload to 11 Labs. Oh, paid account. Yeah, you do. You do. That's the thing about the media stuff, the audio and the video stuff right now is pretty expensive. I wonder how all these will continue to develop after the war will start. I don't know what that means still. Don't really care. It did in a way. But small artists barely get any opportunities for live shows. Yeah? So? I mean, I have a degree in acting. I started and ran a theater company. I'd work for 3 months to put on a show that 17 people would come to see. If you're in the arts and you have some expectation that you should be given a fucking career, tough shit. Fucking grind. No one owes you fucking anything. Like, get on TikTok and get, 500,000 followers and get them to come to your show. If small artists can't get people to come to their show, it's because they don't have talent or they're not hustling. Sorry. It's the entertainment business. For every job, there are 10,000 people that would do away with a family member to have a tenth of an ounce of a career. It is not a career for the faint-hearted. And, you don't go into that world because you expect shit's going to be given to you. Like, go live in New York for 3 years and try to get your ass on a stage. Try to get yourself an agent. I did it for 2 years and I'm like, fuck it, and started a theater company. We'll do our own shows. I did that for 4.5 years. Do you think I ever had a completely sold out run? Maybe once in 4.5 years. It's a brutal business. And it's just been made more brutal. But here's the thing. People with talent that get AI literate are going to be like fucking superheroes. Because if you can put on a live show and you can wield this technology and you can spin things up in real time and you can do big performances and you've got talented people around you and you can market it and you can get venues and you can get asses in the seat, with very little money, talented people are going to be able to put on unbelievable spectacles with original music every night, an original video every night, and original stories every night, but it still kind of has a theme. So I don't have a lot of sympathy for, but small artists have tough time selling out tickets. Fucking get out there and grind. You came to the wrong out of work actor for no one owes anyone shit. I'm as empathetic as the next guy. I index high on the empathy scale. And I also have very little tolerance for just expecting shit to be handed to you, especially in the arts. Especially in the arts. Go watch Corey Sandler. She's fucking grinding right now, right? She's doing her pottery. She's doing cooking, singing. Now she's doing GPTs. She's just cranking. If you've ever done that, and a year goes by, and then 3 years go by, and then a decade goes by, and you're still going, you've essentially won. But when you're in the middle of it, it doesn't feel like you're winning. You're like, I just need that fucking break. So I'm going to keep going because you're called to do it. All right. Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about AI. What did I put on? Is that water or schmutz? I think it's schmutz. It's like so schmutzy, I thought it was a button. And ticket prices? Ooh, Maron. Excellent points, Kyle. You're the best. Thank you, Vegas Moxie. Thank you for being a subscriber also. I missed the rant. It's still going. I've been ranting now for 2 hours. Or an hour and a half. Someone asked me about copyright, Joker, and I haven't really stopped. Oh, Lordy. Bring it, Kyle. Oh, yeah. Who reads the New York Times? Love your passion, Kyle. Thank you, Edgar. What is this new Sora AI technology? I'll show it to you. Oops, not sure what I posted. It was a good rant. He's still going. Let's go look at what this new Sora shit is. So I'll show you the Sora shit. And then I'll show you the 11 Labs response to it, which I thought was super cool. And I'll also show you how the Sora stuff works, because the Sora stuff is really significant. It's really significant. It's so funny, too, because it's like, when OpenAI puts out something like Sora, there's two kind of naysayers, right? There's the naysayers that are like, we're all doomed, everyone's going to die. There's that. That's to be expected. That's kind of boring. But then there's the technology naysayers that are like, it's not that big a deal. I'm like, well, if it's not that big a fucking deal, where's your version of it? You know? The fucking chief dude from Meta came out like 3 days after Sora. It's not really that the technology's not really that significant. You know, it's they're just taking some mathematics and they're applying it in a both a parallel and a serialized fashion over time. And they claim to be simulating reality, but from a true perspective, they're not actually modeling a 3D world, and they're not actually simulating the physics of the world. They're just approximating it in a diffusion kind of model. And shut the fuck up. Jesus. Go look at the video. Where's yours? If it's that trivial, show us yours. So anyway, let's go look at it. I'm fucking saucy tonight. I'm saucy. I fucking had it. All right? Good? We good? All right. So if you want to see this Sora stuff, go to openai.com/SORA. And then you get this. All right. So there's our fancy little website. Okay, before I show you any cool video, other than that background there, which is pretty cool, that's Sora video. This first sentence, for me, is a huge fucking hint. Because the second sentence talks about video, right? This is a creating video from text, right, is what the product is. And their first sentence has nothing to do with video. What does it have to do with? We're teaching AI to understand and simulate the physical world in motion with the goal of training models that help people solve problems that require real-world interaction. Like, when I first read that, I read that sentence like 10 times. Wait, you're what? We're teaching the AI to understand and simulate the physical world in motion with the goal of training models to help people solve problems that require real world what does that mean? Does that mean they're going into like Unreal Engine 5, creating worlds that have physics on it and training, like just letting those worlds interact and exist with some sort of characters in there and training the AI on that? Are they creating simulated physics world with material? Like what does that even mean? With the goal of training models to help people solve problems that require real world interaction. So what that says to me is this video shit is it's like the tippity tip of the iceberg of whatever they're doing. So then it says introducing Sora, our text to video model. Sora can generate videos up to a minute long while maintaining visual quality and adherence to the user's prompt. And then this is kind of the hero clip that they keep showing. This is a 59-second. And even if this took an hour to render, this is pretty something. Look at, there's some weirdness in her feet, but most of the other stuff here is pretty coherent. And for me, the thing that impresses me the most is all of the signs in the background stay, and all of the people are as they started out. And then that edit, that cut to the close-up of her, that's not an edit. The Sora model, that's part of this 59-second generation. It cuts its own scenes together as part of the generation. So that's that one. That one I think's a piece of crap. This one's amazing. Again, this is a single prompt with all these scenes that generated all these scenes. I mean, good Lord, right? Prompt, a movie trailer featuring the adventures of a 30-year-old spaceman wearing a red wool knitted motorcycle helmet. Look, he's got a red. So it was funny. Someone said, "Oh, it's not realistic. His helmet is knitted." It's in the prompt. It's in the prompt. He's got a red knitted motorcycle helmet. Why? Because, I don't know, someone prompted it that way. Look at this. This drone shot of Big Sur. Look at the lighthouse. Look how it's not moving and it's not warping and morphing. Notice how the detail in the cliffs is still there. The detail in the waves is still there. So even if this shit is rendering at 60 seconds per second, you know, that's a 10-minute shot rather than hiring a drone pilot to go out, fly around there, or paying the stockhouse to do it. And, you know, the shit's going to get faster. If you don't think it's going to get faster, if you don't think it's going to go faster, go to, here, we'll go here. Watch this. Groq.com, Groq.com. Have you seen this? Watch this. Let's see. Write me 3 sonnets about 3 people who each love the other 2. Look how fast that went. Sonnet 1. The engineer in numbers and in street, the lover of concrete and the true with every beam and girder does reveal the strength and beauty of design so new. Yet in his heart a poet's soul resides, a tender, loving artist he may be. So this is just using Mixtral's 8x7b model 524 tokens a second. 524, so like 350 words a second to generate the response. It's not copy and pasted, it's generating it like that. So this shit that's too slow right now, it's not going to be that slow for long. Anyway, so Sora. What else is... There's another one that I think is super impressive. This one's super impressive. So the prompt here is close-up of a 24-year-old woman's eye in Marrakesh during magic hour. And then, okay, so you're like, okay, that's cool, but then wait, right there. The reflection in her iris, or in her iris, is Marrakesh at sunset. Holy shit. What does this thing know? Well, they're understanding and simulating reality or physical motion. This is the one that blew me away. Did you see that? Hey, I'll wait for it to loop. Right. When the dark building goes by outside the train, you see the reflection of the woman filming this video. The prompt here is reflections in the window of a train traveling through the Tokyo suburbs. And there she is. That's fucking bonkers. So that's Sora. So then, 11 Labs, 2 days after that came out, dropped this thing. So what 11 Labs said was, gee, isn't there something wrong with this super sexy video? Like, say, it's quiet? So they said, we have a new product coming out. You might want to get on the wait list. It's called text to sound effects or text to audio or text to whatever it's called. But basically, they used a text to audio generation model to create audio for all the Sora videos, or this edit of them. That one's amazing. So's that.
In a place beyond imagination, where the horizon kisses the heavens, one man dares to journey where few have ventured. Armed with nothing but his wit and an unyielding spirit, he seeks the answers to mysteries that lie beyond the stars.
All of these sound effects were generated by 11 Labs without modification.
Well, it's not that impressive, from a technical perspective. All they're doing there is they're taking this algorithm that came out in 2020. Is the paper is the they take the string algorithm and then
Yep. Exactly. It's not that impressive. Go watch a 4-second Runway ML video and then go watch these. And I don't give a shit if it took an hour to render these, and you can render a Runway ML video really quickly. These are like usable, commercially usable, right? Runway MLs are not, unless you're making some sort of, twisted anamorphic, morphing sort of thing.
So let's go look at how these things work, or how this system works, because it's fucking bonkers. And I don't give a shit if they're taking two relatively simple mathematical concepts and smashing them together. They're the ones that did it first. And no one else has got anything close to this. People are shitting all over OpenAI. Well, they're doing this and they're doing that and they're doing this. Well, their fucking ChatGPT is still better than your fucking ChatGPT. And honest to God, I swear to God, as soon as someone comes out that's better than OpenAI, I'll shut the fuck up about them. But ain't no one caught them yet. And when they do shit like that, like I think they did this because I think they knew that something was coming from Google that was going to take the little shine off their marble. So, cuckoo. All right, here's what we're going to do. Learn more in our technical report. I'm not going to go deep into this, but okay, here's video. This is how video works. If you don't know how video works, it's a stack of images, right? Thing called persistence of vision. The sort of minimum persistence of vision is 24 frames a second, which is what movies are generally rendered at. And that's why movies tend to have that kind of warm analog kind of feel, because it's like right at the edge of where, they don't flicker. It just looks like motion to us. And then video's 30 frames a second. Video games are 60 or 120 frames a second. But our eyes above 20, I think it's 22, can't really see the individual frames. We just see the motion. So so if you've been on here for a while, earlier I showed how diffusion models work, right? So it amalgamates a bunch of images that have been noised into a single noisy image, and then it denoises that image. It has no idea what's in the image. None. Which is why you get weird hands and weird feet and a nose on the side of the head and an extra leg, is because it just smashed some shit together, denoised it, and what it gets, it gets. It's completely unaware of what it is. What OpenAI is doing here is they're in the encoding process, when they encode it on video, when they're teaching it about video, they're taking each frame, they're doing visual encoding of it, and they're breaking it into what they call patches. So the front of this grid here is a single frame that they've broken into patches, and they do that for every frame. So they've got this kind of volumetric understanding. They've got this understanding of all of the different items, sub-elements of the image over time. And then if you take any one of those little patches, the way they're maintaining continuity is that they bring a single patch in, and they have like 100 frames. So like 3 seconds of video, and I assume they're going front and back, or maybe they're just going back in time. I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter. But let's say down here is like the wheel of a sports car in that little patch. They can look at the wheel of that sports car over time and maintain continuity across it. So they're doing micro diffusion models, but they're checking them over time. So they're improving continuity over time for a little patch. So that's how they're maintaining. So what it means is this system understands this world. It understands that it's a reef with a fish in it and a scuba diver in the distance. And it understands what they are over time. And because they're training the model to understand the physical world, it actually understands the relationship between a scuba diver and a fish in a reef. Holy fucking shit, Batman. This has nothing to do with video. Although it does, it makes really cool video. Every time I learn about how they do this shit, it's like, who's figuring this shit out? Well, here's the deal. People have been figuring this shit out for the past 3 decades. It's just now coming to fruition. And as overhyped as it is, this stuff is coming to fruition right now because OpenAI released this thing called ChatGPT on November 30th, 2022, and 100 million people started using it within 6 weeks, word of mouth only. And that changed everything. Because the focus of every single tech company, starting at the beginning of 2023 until today, is 100% on generative AI. Not just the AI that's been sitting in our machines for 15, 20 years, generative AI, the stuff we get to play with. They're all focused on it. So what we're starting to witness right now, all that list that I read at the beginning of the live, is a year of development of people dumping tons of money and tons of focus on these tools. That's why they're all of a sudden starting to get better and better and better all of a sudden. It's like, how is it possible this is all just happening right now? Because it's been building for years, and then starting last year, all this focus, like laser focus, went on generative AI. So all the development's turning this way, all the money's turning this way, all the research is turning this way. And you've got someone like OpenAI that, you know, they've been at it for 5 or 6 years in a very focused way. They put out a thing that they didn't think was a big deal. They had drinks the night before they launched ChatGPT and said, maybe we'll get a blog post or two and a couple of thousand comments. 100 million users in 6 weeks. Fastest adoption of technology in history with no marketing. Crazy, right? Bonkers. All right, I gotta go, people. What else did I have on here? On my little list. 11 labs. Yeah, the Google Pro 1.5 stuff. I don't have access to it yet, but like the people that are talking about it, like Ethan Mullock, go. If you're not following Ethan Mullock, go follow Ethan Mullock. Follow him on Twitter, follow him on LinkedIn, and go to his blog, oneusefulthing.org. Tricky point. How many people will make special spectacles in the future will be lost in the crowd? Many. That's art. True, Kyle. Grind, grind, grind. Yep. Just, Corey, your grinding is, I say grind like a Gary Vaynerchuk thing. That's not it. It's like you have a passion for what you do, right? And it's not about the commercial success necessarily. Like, be nice to have. I think as artists, we all dream of having it. And then it's art. Sometimes it resonates, sometimes it doesn't. Tyler Perry calls on entertainment industry and government to corral AI before everyone's out of business. Exactly. The robots are going to kill us. I'm never going to use it. I'm a writer and I will never use AI. You're not going to use the most powerful writing tool in the history of humanity? Really, Skippy? Really? You should try it. It's pretty fucking miraculous. I've written 7 screenplays. I'm kind of partial to the word. I think AI gives me fucking superpowers. You know how I know that? 'Cause I used it. I didn't just bitch about it. I'm so fucking bitter tonight. Oh, Lordy.
Play it again.
I'm extremely late, but I have a good excuse. I was making a GPT. One useful thing. Yeah, oneusefulthing.org is Ethan Mullock's blog. Just go look at what he's writing about Gemini 1.5 Pro. Like Ethan Mullock, he's really even keeled, and he's like, here's some research that shows this, that, and the other, and he's very much an AI optimist, and you should be using AI, but he's thinking about it very pragmatically. Go look at what he's writing about the million token context window and Gemini 1.5. He's like, this is different. Shit's different. Feels different. Something's different. This is different. If Ethan Mullock's saying something's changing, something's fucking changing. So, anyway. All right. I got to go, people. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to the irregulars. Thank you to the mods. I know this was a non-standard evening, but I had to rant. I just had to do it, people. If you want to support the channel, subscribe to the lives, buy one of the video series in the corner, or the video series in the corner, follow my channel, go to thesalon.ai, check out this community. This is a community I started the week after ChatGPT launched. It doesn't cost anything, but go read about who we are and what our values are. And if you want to hang out with people that are up to shit in AI, this is the group. And by up to shit, I don't mean like they've figured it out. This is a group that understands that no one's got it figured out. And they're just exploring, and they're playing, and they're collaborating, and they're supporting one another, and they're not being assholes to one another. And in fact, when anyone in here is slightly asshole-ish, it's like this weird thing, because no one in here is like that. So if you can put down your asshole hat and connect with people, and you want to learn some shit, this is a remarkable group. Non-standard is the standard. All right, everybody. I am out of here. Emilio's wife, great to see you. Vegas Moxie, thank you as always. Good. Danielle, thank you. Investor Friendly Agent, peace out. Laughing Thunder, thank you. Brian Whitney, Sherry D, thank you. Y'all are so swell. You're so swell. I just love you up. Lord Digital Gods, good evening. LinkedIn office hours tomorrow, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Go to my LinkedIn channel, at Kyle Shannon on LinkedIn, and just check in the morning. I'll have the link there. Or you can go to the Irregulars channel at the salon, and I have the link to the Google Meet for my AI office hours tomorrow. Against the norm. Been watching you every night. Thank you very much. Keep coming back. It does get better. No, it doesn't. This is pretty much it. Corey Sandler Pottery. Good night. TK, good to see you. Joker, a human being. Good to see you. Debbie. All right. I think I got most of the people. If I missed you, I love you anyway. You know that. Mr. IT, good to see you. Peace out, people. Have a good night. Bye.